good night. Have one time tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Sermon Jazz Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you some news on tonight. We're gonna talk about Jackson, Mississippi. They have a new bill attack on black leadership. Mississippi continue on denying black American political power. So power struggle to decapitate a black leadership. Jackson, Mississippi, black land makers is in Mississippi. Denouncing effort by the majority of white and Republicans that led state legislature, to grab power from the majority of black and Democrat-led capital city of Jackson. So the action is being taken by one leadership among to symbolize capitulation of black elect, leadership. Democrat Senator Jones of Jackson said during the legislation black new conference, the state of senator vote to create, a board of eventually take control of Jackson struggle with water system, which is now overseen by federal attorney administration. Hours later, the House voted to create a new code. So they want two codes. They said they want to have a new code and part of Jackson with judges who would be appointed rather than elect. So they're gonna have judges supposed to be elect, but they're gonna have an unelect. They're gonna be appointed what judge that gonna be judged. And not have black judges use their leadership power. Okay, so nearly 83% of Jackson residents are black. In a city, the city hasn't had they had to have a black mayor since 1997. So they haven't have a black mayor since 1997. And we in 2023. So the bill to create, a water board and a new code system, trying to get a water board and a new code system, sponsored by a white Republican lawmaker, who live in the northern Mississippi, more than 2 hour drive from Jackson. So in both cases, the sponsor, you know, um, said they wrote the bill, without first consulting Jackson lawmaker. Senator sponsor, said the incorporated idea was from Jackson Hole. But when the mayor looked at the proposal, they mayor liked the proposal. So one bill will create a capital complex improvement district code, in more and rather parts of Jackson. So the judges will be appointed by the Chief Justice of Mississippi Supreme Court. So instead of that judge that's supposed to judge certain cases, they're not gonna let a black judge judge. They're gonna appoint a judge to who they want to judge. So the prosecutor will be appointed by the state attorney general, both of whom are white. And Jackson Mayor, you know, Jackson Mayor, they mayor, like I said earlier, they like the co-proposal. They like, the idea they're gonna be appointing out judges. When black judges also is elected, but they're gonna have them unelected and just appointed out if they need them. So that's what is going on in Mississippi. So this proposal will strip away. Now, this new proposal they're talking about, it will strip away voters' rights in a state with racist history of voter suppression. So this new proposal that they're coming out with, it will create a separate, but unequal code. So they want to have two codes. That means it's gonna be separate. They're trying to have this states separate, trying to bring slavery back. Push out and kick out. Just being want them to just be silenced. and just live in a state, and they're just gonna take control of the state. So Mississippi Republicans want their own cops, and it's another thing. You're gonna have two courts. They're trying to have their own station. Cops and judges. So they want to have their own cops and their own judges. That's why they're appointing what judge they want to do a case, to proceed a case. And the majority are black. So black leaders compare the push to expand a state police force responsibility for recent shootings upon it. So they constantly having shooting in this side, but they're not worried about going on this side. That's why they're trying to get two cops. They're trying two stations, and they're trying to get two coasts. They're trying to have what it sounds like. Mississippi gonna be separate. They're gonna be divided. And it shouldn't be that way. So I have my own bill or proposal. A permanent policy. So one, your new bill is an attack on black leadership. You know, all black leadership will remain. It's like you're stripping away their power. They got power. They went to school for what they're doing, but then you have them on the sideline because you're just gonna point out what judge you want to do a case. So two, you also grab power from black Democrats. So I want black Democrats should remain. Because they're diverse for black African American. So three, decapitation. To attempt to undermine black leaders by removing them from an elect leadership to unelect. To be appointed. So all black judges will be elect. Will keep their position as a leader. So four, infrastructure, trying to take over Mississippi, the water system, the school system, and etc. And the list just go on. Trying to oversee by a current administration. So five, you have two white Republicans, who created, the district code, just for only black in a different section. So appointing a state attorney general. So you're having a special district code. You know, just gonna have for blacks. You're trying to create two codes, two police stations. It's like you're making Mississippi separate and divided. So six. You're also creating a separate, unequal code. That's what I just said. You're gonna have a separate code. Separating code are not equal. You all in that state. You are being divided and not equal. So we all have to come together. We cannot be divided and separated. The world really is going to be falling apart if we don't try to get on the same page. So seven, y'all mayor, y'all mayor of Mississippi, like the proposal, or the unelect, and like the proposal, just turning out judges and stripping away black leadership. They can't be on the sideline and they went to school for this. You're having them on the sideline, just appointing them when you need them. That if you need them, because you're trying to have your own judge and your own police station. So the last time you had a black mayor was 1997. So you're all trying to bring back history and slavery back. But we are not going backwards. We are trying to move forward. So we are not going back into slavery. We have equal rights. We have to come together and not be divided. With two coats, you're on two police stations, and all blacks in a certain district. That is not good. At some point, we not gonna rewind history back. So I have a bill of proposal. A permanent policy, you know, for all across the nation. You know, I blocked Jackson, Mississippi new bill proposal. I also blocked the two district court that you're trying to do, the two district court and the two police stations. You know, this permanent policy, will guarantee power for African Americans to keep their leadership position. All African American would be elected, and not unelected. All black judges would not be denied. We will not be divided or separated. At some point we all have to come to get on the same page. I don't know what had happened. I knew last year, the end of last year into this year, you know, history just went all out of whack. And we've been having history every year and never had these problems, So I have a new bill proposal that we're gonna go by. I had get a new permanent post yesterday I put out. So this permanent policy will remain, all across the nation. That I blocked Jackson, Mississippi new bill proposal. And I also blocked the two district and the two police stations. This is a permanent policy that will remain. It will guarantee power of African Americans to keep their leadership position. All African American will be elected to judge and not unelected. All black judges will not be denied, but will not be divided or separated. That state it seems like it's trying to be divided. It's unequal. And you have to come together. That's the only state I know right now. It's trying to be divided. You want to have two of this and two of that, and just have all black people like in one section. That shouldn't not be. We all have to come together. And I'm coming out with these permanent policy. Because we just having so much trouble of equal rights. Struggling with rights. You got judges that you want on the sideline until you appoint them for a case, because you want your own judge. That cannot go that way. They have to have the equal rights, and this permanent policy will give them that. Will give them their leadership position to remain. So that's all the short news I have for you today. We talk about this new policy that Jackson, Mississippi came up with. And they may approve it because they loved it. But I don't approve it. Because we all are equal, and we have to stop being separated, and certain races have to do this and do that. They went to school for that. They didn't go to school to be on the sideline. So I request that all black judges, be elected to do what they're supposed to do. So that's all the news I have for you tonight, and I'll see y'all on the next video.